We were mocked. We were hated. Kentucky fan came in hot, and I mean
spoke to our children.
Hot. Spoke to our children.
No.
But guess what?
Ain't nobody talking now.
Mike Bobo said, hey, guys, why don't you sit this one out? I'll lay all of them out for you on the field in front of God and everybody next on Locked On Bulldogs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Mike Bobo just put on a clinic. I'd love to lead with Georgia football. I'd love to lead with a ranked-on-ranked matchup. I'd love to lead with how our day in Athens was and what the weather was like and the gentleman sitting near us. But I can't talk about any of that, Clint, because Mike Bobo came out here and the offense scored touchdowns on 4 of its first 5 possessions, got a field goal on the 5th. And this game was over before it even started because Georgia has the best offense in the SEC. And that's not an overreaction. The name of the show is Overreaction Saturday, Clint.
Sure.
And we'll get to those in a minute.
No, we'll talk.
But
this is the most sensible take there is today.
The regular reaction is that Carson Beck, this offensive line, which Clint, they're back.
Be still my heart.
The offensive line is officially back.
Stacey Searle's doing some work during the week.
The wide receiver core, Clint, the quarterback, the play calling, the scheme, the system. I'm sorry, hold on.
Yep.
The running backs, Clint.
Hey,
we got a lot of ground we're going to cover on this podcast. Where do you want to start?
I want to start by going back and revisiting some things. I want to congratulate ourselves, Daniel.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I want to pat ourselves on the back.
No, that checks out.
Okay.
Self-congratulations.
Carson Beck.
By the way, thanks, LinkedIn. Episode
LinkedIn.
brought to you by LinkedIn. We love LinkedIn.
We do love LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Carson Beck nearly had 300 yards. Oh, wait. Did have 300 yards before the half was over. Touchdowns, completion percentage, 75%, still in that range. We said that we're going to attack Kentucky. Oh, it's through the air, and it's going to be
might come out, pitch it around
might
a little
be
bit.
Pitchy woo-woo, and we did. We pitched it all over the yard. That Rosemead touchdown, that rah-rah touchdown.
Stop.
That Brock Bowers touchdown. Should have had 4, if not for Brock's. Look, you're owed a couple in the season, but no more.
Fine.
Daniel, we had an inclination.
We did.
That the game, I wasn't nervous.
No,
we said we took a long look at the spread, took a long look at the points.
I was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. I wasn't nervous about the money line. I was nervous about covering. I was nervous about the dominant performance. But this offense put it all to bed right out of the gate, Clint.
Quarter one, put it to bed. Second thing we said, don't be worried about the defense because quarterback ain't running the ball. And Davis, okay, fine. Leary can't throw, especially against our secondary. And, yeah, we held him to, I think, 1.7 yards per carry, Daniel.
Yeah, not a great day for Ray Davis. And Devin Leary is bad. Like,
definitively.
He's bad, Clint. Our quarterback, meanwhile, is very good.
Bordering on elite. Great, elite. Because he is.
It's Jaden Daniels and Carson Beck. These are the quarterbacks of the SEC.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, SEC, there's no – it's LSU's passing attack, our passing attack, and then everybody else 15 spots below.
Go away. Carson Beck was picking this defense apart. The offensive line was giving him weeks and weeks to throw the ball. Clean pockets all around. Was Carson Beck pressured one time in this game?
I actually think there was one time some cat broke loose, and I think it was he ran for it. That was the time he just tucked it. He was doing a little waggle to the right. He just tucked it and ran for the first down instead. That was it.
there was all day to throw. And when you give Carson Beck all day to throw, the play design, the scheme, the play calling, Carson Beck was absolutely picking these fools apart. Shout out to the offensive line. And before we get to the wide receivers in segment 2, Clint, so we'll talk about the pass catchers in segment
pass
2.
Catchers. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
But while we're here talking about this offensive line, you want to say something about Kendall Milton real quick?
I want to say 2 things. I want to clarify because I think I was taken out of context.
Okay,
I was taken out of context.
Here we go.
I said I never wanted to see him carry the ball, the gun, until he is fully healthy. Those words were said. Go back and watch the tape. Well, it turns out, Daniel,
he fully healthy.
He fully healthy.
Kendall Milton showed us some things tonight, reminded us of who he is, and who he is sensational. Daijun Edwards was his normal, sensational self.
Yes.
And Dylan Bell had a couple runs, including one that was called back for the most ridiculous
Xavier Truss, what you doing?
holding call 20 yards behind the play I've ever seen in my entire life. But Dylan Bell finally had some big explosive runs. I thought the running backs all told played fantastic in this game.
If you're telling me we get Kendall Milton like that for the rest of the season,
now all of a sudden. But it all was predicated on Mike Bobo coming out and saying, I don't care if it's a Georgia-Kentucky game. I don't care if these games are normally back and forth, sloppy, one team trying to just score 14 points and win it 14-13. Mike Bobo said, Coach, why? Why do we have to do that? What if we came out and just scored on every possession? What if we
6
came
for 6
out,
in the first half, scoring on possessions, by the way, 4 touchdowns,
including
2 field goals.
including a 23-second possession to end the half? They got points on that one as well. What if we just went out and hung a 50-piece on Mark Stoops and the so-called SEC East contenders?
Contenders, up and coming, best team in the East. Watch out, Georgia. And just this in, statistically, metrically, eyeball test, pundit test, everybody test, best defense in the SEC. Can't run on them.
No, you can't run on them.
Tell Milton, Bell, Edwards, because we ran all day. I think it was 5.6 yards per carry, maybe higher when the game was ended. I don't know. We looked at the stats halfway through because, again, halfway through this game was in the bed. We saw a death march in the third quarter.
8 minutes to go in the third quarter, and we death marched. Oh, my goodness, it was glorious.
It was magical. It was glorious. And because we had the offensive line cooking, we had the running backs cooking, we had everything in sync. Guys, he said it, but it bears repeating.
Yep.
The best offense in the SEC resides in Athens.
Right out there.
Right out there is the best offense in the SEC.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get to some overreactions, probably third segment, because second segment we got to get to the pass catchers. They were sensational.
There's a lot of names, and we need to speak to all of them.
All of them need their time.
They do. They deserve it.
We're going to talk about the defense, but this just in. We're fine.
Okay.
Because we have the best offense in the SEC and, stop me, a top 5 offense in the entire nation resides here in Athens with Georgia. Holy jeez.
I love to see it. All right, we got a lot more to react to right after these.
But these are, in fact, LinkedIn. LinkedIn Jobs, the place you need to go to get the right person, the right fit for your team. Maybe you want to go back and you hired somebody a little too quickly because you thought he was going to come in and take your non-quarterback and make him a great quarterback over at Alabama. Maybe you thought to yourself, I've made a horrible mishire. And I just need to get somebody else. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. They have all the best insight. It's almost like Todd Monken said, don't worry, hire Mike Bobo.
What if your good friend is also an offensive play calling genius?
Well, that would be the best scenario.
That would be the best case scenario.
Many of us don't have that opportunity
We
in life.
need a LinkedIn Jobs to help supply us with
That's
a Mike
right.
Bobo.
All of us are not Kirby Smart and Mike Bobo. LinkedIn.com/lockedoncollege. Head over there right now. Amazing network of people, millions of people. Post your job for free. Get the right candidate to the right team for your team right now. LinkedInjobs.com. The pass catchers.
By the way, nobody carried anybody out of the stadium tonight. Very responsible
good
citizens.
On you. By the way, just real quick, before the 199 might hear something. We crushed this weekend in every facet. I want to brag about this man, and we out here just absolutely just dads of the year is what we are. Like, print the banner.
It's locked up. Georgia got the best offense in the country. We're the best dads in America. This is the same Kentucky team.
Yeah.
Before we get to the pass catchers, it occurs to me.
What'd they do to Florida?
It's the same Kentucky team that just took the Florida Gators absolutely out by the woodshed and beat them senseless.
It's interesting. That's interesting for us.
Well, do we play Florida later?
We play Florida later.
They on the schedule?
They on the schedule.
Okay, then. What do you think Vegas is going to put the number at?
I said this before the season.
Lay 'em.
Any number you put out in front of me, I'm going to lay. This just in. Lock of the week.
Lay 'em.
Whatever Vegas gives me point-wise.
Lay 'em. All right. I'm going to start.
Okay.
Golly, geez.
Wide receivers.
Let's start with the fact that Brock Bowers had his third 100-yard game in a row. Clint. Real quiet 100-yard game, too. Had the big catch down the middle. And then had the touchdown, obviously. Could have had a second. But another 100-yard game. The guy he's out there eating now. Clint. Like, watching him in person is a spectacle. It is a treat. Savor this man, Georgia fans.
8-9 more games total.
Drink it in, because there will not be another Brock Bowers. It's like a Nick Chubb situation.
Yes.
There will not be another one. You might get a good tight end.
Sure.
You'll probably get elite tight ends.
I have no problem with that.
You'll probably have more first-round draft pick tight ends. But there'll never be another Brock Bowers. That's a dude all the way around.
I watched his route running. See, this is what the little things
you get to see when you get to see the whole field.
It's like the all 11 camera angle. Typically, the all 11 camera angle is not. You don't get that with the TV. It's up close.
Yeah.
It's where the ball goes. Go to the game, you get the wide. Clearly, it's all there, and you get to see this man run routes. You get to see him. The impact of his body on when other people try to tackle dislodges them from their area of attack.
In the end zone, little fella tried to come in and send a message after he caught that touchdown. Little fella came in, tried to hit. Brock Bowers stood up and just gave him one of these. Just said, "Nah, little man,
I'm here.
Why don't you
get there?
Why don't you get in the weight room?" That's
protein powder.
Carson Beck. Sometimes where we're sitting kind of in the corner, you see the routes, as you said, develop. He's open when he's not open. Like if you're Carson Beck and you're standing back there and you see him running down the seam, you pitch it because he's open when he's not open.
Okay.
But Rah Thomas, y'all. Rah Thomas. This number 5, Cap?
He shares the same number as somebody that left Athens.
Sure.
We just fine.
We fine. Okay? We fine. He got all them routes. You thought Rah Thomas was a deep threat? You thought Rah Thomas was just going to go deep middle, try to take the top off the defense? No. He can come out by the sideline, catch a ball. He can come across the middle, catch a ball. You need to move the sticks.
Yeah.
You hit him. What if you throw a little fade ball to him up top? I'm talking about top rope. I'm talking about climbing the ladder.
Where he got to go high point that ball?
And he goes and gets it, and he says, I'll touch a little toe down right here. Right on the way down. Rah Thomas a problem, y'all. And by problem, I mean if you're an SEC defensive coordinator, it's a problem for you. Because y'all done messed around, and Georgia figured some things out. The Georgia offense figured some things out.
Again, so let me tell you, we were middling around, as some of you put it, our offense just lackadaisical without a running game. So we had to rely on the passing game.
Yeah.
And then we were out running back, so we had to get some other guys involved. And then we were out wide receivers, and they had to get involved, and they got developed. And all of a sudden, it was like we were training with weights on our ankles. And then we said, oh, can we take the weights off now? We can. Oh, turns out I'm real fast.
We're real fast, and we've got lots and lots and lots of dudes. Ron Thomas, the best wide receiver on this team, and
we know Lad's back. No, we know.
Well, we know that he's still just as good.
Yes.
We all thought Dom Lovett was going to be the transfer wide receiver that was going to come in and steal the show. It's Ra, and he is sensational, Clint. I absolutely love him. He's one of my favorite players on this team.
He is polished. He's professional. He is athletic. He high points. He has all the route tree down. He was Lad McConkey before Lad came back, and now that Lad's back, we got two of them, and it turns out that Ra is now gets to slot over more to kind of his typical position. Again, that A.D. Mitchell-esque wide receiver, and he's excelling in it.
Well, Lad McConkey and Thomas, those are our two weapons at wide receiver, Clint.
What if I was to tell you, Rosemy Jack Saint, he's been tired of the disrespect. He's been tired of blocking on the edge, and he just wanted to get his lunch and eat he did. Daniel,
man.
The George Pickens role of this offense is Rosemy Jack Saint. That's who came in. So we're slotting people in. They're getting comfortable. They're getting used to. Carson Beck is loose. Again, forget all of you that let him do that and the disrespect that you gave Mike Bobo and Carson Beck, because he's awake and he's a monster and there's nothing you can do about it. And now his weapons are coming through, and he has all of them. The A.D. Mitchell role, the Jorge Pickens role, the Lad McConkey role, they're all there. And Rosemy Jack Saint showed possession, showed strength. You need, if it's 3rd and 15, I know we can air it out and Ra can high point a ball. I know that Brock can do his thing.
Georgia Tech just scored a touchdown and beat Miami. Like right here. What?
Look, it's after the game. It's overreaction central. We are concerned about other things. We're going to get to this in the third segment, 199. We're going to talk about who in the world, who in the nation is good. There's one name that's good. It's on my sweatshirt.
Yeah.
That's it.
Y'all done messed around. I told you, because Georgia figured it out. We figured it out.
It's all the pieces. So we were shifting through gears, and the gears were kind of clanging. All of a sudden, there it is.
South Carolina should have beaten us, y'all, because that was the chance. That was the chance there. Because who's going to beat us, Clint? Like now it's old Georgia's comeback, and that's not great news for the SEC. It's not. All right, more right after this.
And this is FanDuel, which, by the way, I just missed out on my one bet that I missed because freaking Fresno State threw a pick in which the defensive lineman tipped it to himself and intercepted it. But FanDuel.com/lockedon is where I went to make these bets.
Yeah.
We cashed on many of them this week. We cashed on that Alabama spread.
That was nice.
That was.
How about that Oklahoma plus 6.5?
Told you.
That was a nice. That's a
Told
nice
you.
little beat. Kansas was a 2-point favorite.
And what
did they win by 2?
Oh,
they won by about 30.
By a lot more.
Yeah.
We were over there cashing. We went to FanDuel.com/lockedon. You bet $5. New users, $5. Win or lose, you get $100 in bonus bets straight to your account. Make every moment more. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Locked On Bulldogs and Locked On Podcasts. They're whenever we give out lines, we give out FanDuel. They're safe. They're efficient. They're incredibly reliable. FanDuel.com/lockedon right now. Bonus bets. Okay, we're here with the 199. We interacted with the 199. We were at the tailgate. We were at the Subtext.
Y'all are the best.
You guys are sincerely the best. We love you all. I was standing in a restroom line. Guy passes me, looks me up and down, and I thought, "What's up,
you
man?"
don't look people up and down in a restroom line.
And he said, "You Clint?" I go, "I got a 199 on my hands right here." I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "I listen to you guys every day." I said, "Thank you, brother. Appreciate that." We had those interactions all weekend. We love you all so much. Daniel.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the thing that I sense you want to talk about. I want to talk about how Georgia's we're one of one. We're in a class, one of one.
We are one of one. That is correct.
Okay. There's no other team like us on offense or defense. And
correct.
We're going to talk. There's no other team that has as many quality wins. And yes, I said quality wins. You have a cupcake schedule.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
We have Missouri on the schedule. How'd they do this? this week.
Everybody. The thing is Clint, everybody's a cupcake when you compare them to Georgia. So it just doesn't. I mean, what?
Kentucky, darling, hard fought, tenacious.
Well, we didn't have to go to Kyle Field, that bastion of football, and try to win a game there. All right, let's talk about the defense.
Okay, please do.
Because I don't hate the defense. There's a rumor going around that I hate the defense.
He said things that make you believe it.
Let me just clarify some things.
Okay, I clarified Kendall Milton. I will let him clarify the defense.
The defense still isn't very good, but I don't hate them. So
okay, that wasn't helpful.
Well,
I
didn't say I was going to say things you like. I just said I was going to clarify.
I'm going to say things you like after he gets done.
I don't hate them, but they're still not very good. Okay, now this game got ugly in a big hurry, and that helped Georgia a lot on the defensive side of the ball.
Admittedly true.
But early in the game, the Georgia defense struggled. The first two drives, Kentucky basically cost themselves points with penalties. They got a holding call, 1st and 20. They got a
lot of self-inflicted wounds.
They got a personal foul call, 2nd and 25. A lot of that. That's what saved the Georgia defense. We were giving up yards. We were giving up chunks. We were giving up plays. And early in the game, before it got out of hand, and this is where I'm really going to make my stand with this defense. Early in the game, Georgia could not pressure Devin Leary when they needed to, and therefore Devin Leary, a very, and I mean very, average quarterback, was able to stand back in the pocket and do some things through the air against this Georgia team, which is exactly what I feared that they would do when we talked on Friday. And that in fact did happen because until the game got out of hand, until they were forced to just pass on every possession, on every down, and we were able to pin our ears back, and then eventually Jalen Walker was able to get home, JDJ was able to get home, Smile Mona was able to get home. We'll talk about a lot of these guys. The pass rush is still the thing to me that stands out as the secondary is not good enough to hold up over the long haul if you cannot get pressure on the quarterback, and they couldn't.
What you just said is absolutely 100% factually correct. I'm going to give out some awards on the defensive side and continue to dab up. Chaz Chambliss, you do you.
Love Chaz Chambliss.
You are physical at the point of attack and spill the ball, and he got after it on the run game as well as pressuring the quarterback. I was insanely impressed once again. JDJ, you didn't suck.
JDJ, welcome back to
football. Welcome back. I don't know.
You play football again. I told you it was coming. I told you it was coming.
Maybe he was hurt. Maybe you were hurt. I don't know.
It doesn't even matter. Maybe he just forgot how to play football, and then he suddenly remembered.
Smile Mondon, you are very fast.
You're very good.
You're very good at football.
Yeah.
Christian Miller, y'all.
I do like Christian Miller. Yeah.
Y'all, he's gonna be top of the rotation very soon. We said it before the season. I say so again. Here's where it gets interesting to me. I think until the cornerbacks can prove that they can get not only in phase but defend the pass, not the receiver. There is a difference.
Yeah.
Till you learn how to high point a ball, turn around, hit the point of attack, not just luckily hit the ball out of the receiver's hand.
Kamari Lassiter did it twice tonight.
We saw him,
and it was a pleasant thing to see because we've not seen it a lot this season.
If cornerbacks can get that, because the safeties were just fine. Again, linebackers played better. Cornerbacks, I saw some things. It's just like the offense that the gears clicked and all of a sudden we're steamrolling.
Yeah.
I think the same can be about the defense. I'm with you. There's gears out of sorts. I'm not saying otherwise. But you've seen enough high points and high levels of every game of position groups that when they all click, when the gears get in system, watch out. The pass rush needs to be there. It's not right now, and there's been not a lot of sign without a blitz. Blitz and some inside backers, we get home. That's true.
Absolutely. And again, late in the game, Offensive tackles are tired.
They've
been pass pro in the whole game. You know it's coming. You're not even scared of the run because you're up by 35 points. Yes, Jalen Walker gets home, and you see some legitimate pass rush. Overall, I thought the defense played a lot better tonight. I thought Xavier Sorey played a lot better, a name you hadn't mentioned yet.
Hugely better.
I thought there were a lot of bright spots on this Georgia defense tonight. But early in the game, again, when it probably should have been 7-7 or at least 7-3 because Kentucky was moving, driving the ball, and then hurt themselves. And then, again, the Georgia offense is unbelievable. So it's 14-0 now. Kentucky drives it again, hurts themselves again. So it should have gotten points there. It could have looked a little bit different. It wouldn't have mattered.
Nope.
Because it's Georgia defense not giving up 51 points, and that's what we would have had to do. So it's not like Georgia's in trouble. Georgia's still 1-1 in college football, but
that's what I mean.
The fact remains, this is the third best defense of the last 3 years, and it's by miles and miles.
Yes. 2 years ago, last year, a massive drop-off this year's group. I understand
They
that.
can get better, though. There is room to get better, and you can see it, and I think they will get better. How much better, that's the question.
I think by cocktail party, we're going to see an entirely different defense. I think the inside backer play, to me,
if JDJ
makes everything go.
100% correct. That's the
everything goes.
You hate to pile on to the kid, and we've been pretty hard on him on the show. He's been terrible, and he's the heart and soul of the defense. So if he's terrible, we don't have a chance to be good. Because as much as you like CJ and the freshman backer,
which I do,
that ain't it.
Nope.
Like that ain't going to be what gets us to where we want to go this year. But if 10 comes back and he plays the kind of football that we know he can, then it changes everything about this defense. Because Smile Mountain is already an athletic freak. And I saw Jalen Walker make some plays today, not in the pass rush. I'm talking about defending the run now.
I'm with you.
I saw Jalen Walker make some plays today that, golly, he needs more. He got to get on the field.
68 yards and 34 first downs for Georgia in this game.
Is that good?
We're 1-1.
6. It starts with a 6, which we had.
That's correct.
That seems good, y'all. Listen, we've had a great time in Athens. If we saw you, you're the best. If we didn't get a chance to see you, we'll catch you next time. Thanks so much for watching, subscribing, downloading the show. And we'll be back on Monday with a whole nother week of shows, getting ready for Vanderbilt next weekend. And we'll see you guys then.
See ya.